Hi guys, welcome to another DIY gymnastics home tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a bridge in 4 simple steps, plus 2 bonus steps at the end of the video to help make learning a bridge that much easier. My name is Chris Olson and I've been a gymnastics coach in Aspen, Colorado for the past 10 years. Before we get into bridges, I just want to remind you guys that I'm in the process of making an online gymnastics course for boys and girls levels 1, 2, and 3, covering all events in a structured chronological format the same way that I would teach it in a real gym. But more details on that at the end of the video. For now, let's get into that bridge. All right, so step 1 is to stretch. This skill in particular relies pretty heavily on some basic flexibility, specifically in your wrists, your shoulders, and your back. So the first stretch I'm gonna go over with you guys is a wrist stretch. So somewhere on a preferably soft floor, sit on your knees, put your hands down in front of you, palms flat on the ground, and fingertips pointing back towards you. You wanna keep those palms flat and your arms straight, and then lean back as much as you can before your hands lift off the ground. Hold this one for about 30 seconds. Then after that, flip your hands over so that the tops of your hands are on the ground and your fingertips are still pointing back towards you, making sure to not put any actual body weight on your hands at this point. Again, hold this one for about 30 seconds. Okay, this next stretch is for your shoulders, and we call it a cat stretch, but I think in yoga it's called downward dog. So either way, you're gonna start on your knees again. You're gonna lean forward and put your arms on the ground out in front of you, and you want your butt sticking up straight in the air. You don't wanna be sitting back on your feet or your legs here. And you are basically trying to press your armpits down towards the floor, as if you're trying to touch them to the ground. Again, hold this one for at least 30 seconds, maybe up to a minute. And then the final stretch is called a seal stretch. This one is actually for your abs mainly, but it helps our back kind of get in shape for a bridge too. So lay flat on the floor on your stomach, put your hands flat by your armpits, and push your upper body upwards. Again, hold this one for 30 seconds at least. Okay, step 2 is to do your bridge with your feet elevated on something that is anchored and won't slide out on you. This object should only be a foot or 2 high that can support the weight of your feet. So something like the seat cushion of the couch would work good for this. So start by laying on your back with your feet up on your object and your hands flat on the ground, up by your ears. Fingertips should be pointing towards your shoulders. From here, you're gonna push with your arms and legs together, and you're trying to lift your stomach as high as you can off the ground. This will pull the rest of your body with it, and our goal is to push high enough up where even your head has lifted off the ground. This is the beginnings of your bridge. You wanna hold this for as long as you can, whether that's 3 seconds, 5, 10, 30. I wouldn't go more than a minute though. Okay, step 3 is to get your feet down at ground level, but still have them anchored up against something. What I would suggest is using the wall or a couch or something that's heavy and won't slide. So again, lay on your back with your hands flat on the ground by your ears, and your feet should be flat on the ground too, but up against the wall. And then from here, push up into your bridge. Once you're up, try to get on the balls of your feet and your tippy toes, and think about opening up your armpits as much as you can. This is where our shoulder flexibility comes into play, and we're gonna see how good those stretches work out. Again, holding this for as long as you can, whether that's 3, 5, 10, 30 seconds, up to a minute. Okay, for step 4, let's take away all of our props and do a proper bridge in the middle of the floor or the yard or wherever you're doing this. So at this point, we basically know what to do, which is to start by laying on your back, hands flat by your ears, knees bent so that your feet are flat, and then pushing equally with your arms and legs, raise up in your bridge. Again, once you're up there, make sure you're getting on the balls of your feet and your toes rather than flat-footed, and make sure that head's not touching the ground. It doesn't count if it is. Remember, because this is something that takes some strength and some flexibility, you probably won't get it on your first try unless you sort of naturally already have those things, but anyone can do this, and I've experienced this firsthand with kids and adults if they try it enough times. It's always a reps game, and if you put in enough time and work, you absolutely can learn this. The key is to just have fun trying it over and over again and let the result come on its own. And honestly, that's the secret to getting good at any of these tricks. Okay, now for the bonus drills that I promised. This first one requires a yoga ball. So in the middle of a preferably carpeted floor or grass, lay on the yoga ball on your back and let your hands and feet touch the ground. Then push back and forth between your hands and your feet so that your body's rocking back and forth a little bit. For an adult doing this should feel really good. In gymnastics, without a ball, this would be called a bridge rock. This will help get your body and your brain acquainted with the trick without the responsibility of actually having to do it yet. I would start by doing 10 of these. All right, the second bonus drill is to do a bridge with your armpits up against the wall. This is a great way to measure whether your bridge is truly good or not and how far you still have to go for it to be a really good bridge. So this time, lay on the floor on your back in that starting position with the wall behind your head. Push up into a bridge, and then with your feet, walk your body backwards into the wall until your armpits press up against the wall, or until you can't go any further. Again, this is a great way to measure how much further you have to go before your bridge is really awesome. And it's just a great shoulder stretch in general. phenomenal. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I hope you had a good time trying this one, and I hope you succeeded. And remember, if you didn't, it's all about the repetition. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I am making an online gymnastics course, and it's a full course for boys and girls for levels 1, 2, and 3, and it covers all events. So that's balance beam, that's bars, that's floor, that's trampoline, that's pommel horse, all that stuff. And where I think the value lies is I put it together in a chronological, structured way, the same way I would teach a regular class in a gym. And for the record, this is for kids or adults. And the best part about this is you don't need a gym to do it. All this stuff can be done either in your living room or your front yard or a public park. I know a lot of you guys have home gymnastics equipment out there, which makes it even easier. So if you're interested in that, the website I made for it is diy-gymnastics.com. I'll make sure to link that below, and you should definitely check it out. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.